There's so much discourse this year around Jalen Brunson. And I saw, he can't be a 1A because he's small. And there's truth to that in the sense that in the history of the NBA, or at least the modern NBA, it's been Isaiah and Steph as the two guys, right? So typically the best player is not 6'1", 6'2", whatever Jalen Brunson lists himself as. We know he's 5'11". He uses the size of his head to get over the 6 foot. He has a large cranium. He does.
He hit the biodome?
He does. Anyways.
This is a 76-year-old here.
Stall him up. Jalen's my guy, man. I played with him in Dallas. So I was on his team in Dallas. But, and then there was a lot of talk. They'll never have the best player in a playoff series. And I think we can all, if you don't agree with this, then I don't know what you've watched this year in the NBA. Jalen Brunson is a top 10 player in the NBA. I did my votes earlier this morning. I had him in the top 5 in MVP. And it's a long explanation, but I had him 6th in terms of all NBA. So he ended up on the second team all NBA. Giannis, I jumped onto the first team. So to me, he was one of the, let's call it 6 to 10 best players in the league.
Yeah.
And I think in any matchup, they match up well because they have one of the best players. They have an identity. They have, to our point earlier, they have guys who have completely bought into roles. DiVincenzo all of a sudden becoming this high volume, deep 3-point threat who also guards. I think he was like second in deflections after January 1st in the entire NBA. You got Josh Hart running around doing whatever he does like a madman. Hartenstein has been fucking phenomenal this year on both ends. OG, they're 20-3 in the lineup with OG. I think they're the favorites, regardless of who they play. And I know Miami's pedigree in the playoffs, and I know what Philly has in Joel Embiid. To me, the tougher matchup is the Philadelphia 76ers because they have Joel Embiid.
And that was my follow-up question.
Yes.
How do you feel
tougher
about
matchup.
the Knicks not ducking the smoke and being like, yo, you know what? We want it with you, Joel. Bring it. We got you.
Were you ever on teams that did that?
What's that?
At the end of the season? Like intentionally lost games to get a worse seed?
For matchup reasons?
For matchup reasons? I remember in 17, 18. Yeah, my first year in Philly. That was the year that Boston got off to a great start, and then Kyrie gets hurt. He's going to miss the season.
Yes.
And everybody was trying to like duck into the 7 seed so they could play Boston in the first round.
I remember one year.
Milwaukee did. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Boston ended up getting to game 7 of the conference finals.
Yeah, to your point, be careful what you ask for. Because it was the year here in New York where we felt like we matched up better with Miami, right? It was like just at that time we felt like we could match up with them. So we was like, we want Miami. Like we want to face Miami. We don't want to go play against Indiana first, where it's going to be Roy Hibbert and drawn out and fifth. You know what I mean? Like we don't want that first round. We would get that. We would take that, but we feel like we can match up better with Miami. Then we win a game or some shit like that, and they got us the fuck out of there. But it was just like, watch what you asked for. Watch what the fuck you asked for. We ran up against them as they were on their way to being great. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So to your point, you gotta ask what you watch what you ask for. But we wanted it though. We really wanted that. Yo, basketball season might be wrapping up soon, but Prospects has got you covered when it comes to help you make some bread during the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Prospects is a daily fantasy app where you can select 2 or more players, pick more or less on his projected stats, and turn $25 into $250. Prospects is very simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds.
So be sure to visit prospects.com/7pm and use our promo code 7pm for a deposit match up to $100. In the meantime, stay locked in to 7pm in Brooklyn.